good afternoon, or good evening. If it is good evening when you're watching this, then you're probably drunk. So watch it again tomorrow when you've sobered up, because it is NFL football kickoff today. So I'm getting the video and email out to you early so that before you go and start drinking, at least you got an idea as to what you're going to be looking forward to this week, which is it's so fucking cliche, but this is one of the biggest weeks of the year. It seriously is. And I'll start you off here. Financial juice. Okay. I missed this. Okay. I missed it. The indexes roll over tonight. So when we open up tonight, the indexes will have rolled over. Now, for those that remember, June, when we rolled over, we had a massive gap over on the ES. It still has not filled. We've got a rollover happening tonight. And then on tomorrow, on Monday, there isn't much, okay? There isn't much on the agenda. There's nothing for the U.S. that's of any interest. You've got the OPEC monthly report at 8:30. On Tuesday, on the 13th, Tuesday is the 13th, correct? No, it is not. It is Wednesday. Sorry, my bad. So on Monday, 11, we have nothing. Tuesday, we have nothing. However, on Tuesday, we have the Apple event. And as you guys know, what's taking place over there on Apple, big, huge drop that took place early, middle of last week, which helped us with our decline. China has banned iPhones. They're talking about in governments and state-owned corporations. Well, sorry to tell you, but China owns parts of all those state-owned corporations. Regardless, China has an influence, and I will bring you to this, which we're going to be going back and forth a little bit here. This is out, okay? This is in Shanghai, and this is showing people in the mall over there in Shanghai. You're looking there at an empty iPhone store. And Tuesday, they're going to be doing their iPhone 15 release. So, with the biggest stock on all of the indexes, biggest one in the United States, having now had over 1 billion people say, nope, go fuck yourself. I think it's a little bit bigger than what they're trying to talk about over there on CNBC. So, that's on Tuesday, the 12th. On the 13th, we have CPI. CPI is going to be coming out at 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday. And this, for me, is where I will receive my confirmation for the projection and forecast that I have going into the end of the month, the start of October. And I bring you back over to where we keep our data, and that is CPI. You look here at your actuals and your forecast and your actuals and your forecasts. We are forecast to be up 0.6% month over month. It's shit compared to a year ago, because September CPI report that came out that September of last year, that was where we had our big, humongous drop from that 41 right here. It's right here. Right there. Well, here it is. September 13th, 2022. That was where we had that massive drop from 4,100 and started heading down into the October lows. It was right here in September. We missed. We were looking for minus 10. We came in at plus 10. We're forecasted for plus 60%. going into this report that's coming here on Wednesday. And as you guys know, there are a lot of factors out there that are obviously weighing on that. I will have to skip over to here to U.S. Biden at the G20 this weekend.
And I particularly want to thank Prime Minister Modi and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman.
Pay close attention to Janet Yellen sitting to the right of Joe Biden. Pay close attention.
Mohammed bin Salman and President von der Leyen and the European Commission.
Let me rewind you here. I'm sorry for this. But I want you to pay attention to Saudi Arabia's reaction and India's reaction looking over to him as if to say, dude, don't punch him. Don't do it.
Bin Salman, Mohammed bin Salman and President von der Leyen and the European Commission. And since he's not speaking today, I wanted to, maybe he is speaking today. I had a note he wasn't speaking. At any rate, I'm going to stop there. And I particularly want to...
You see Janet Yellen's reaction when he starts struggling there. It's fucking clear, okay? Politics aside, whatever the fuck you want to think about, whoever, Biden, DeSantis, it doesn't fucking matter. This guy is a fucking joke out there on the scene. And you see the reaction, what happened there with Saudi Arabia when he made just, not introducing him properly and pronouncing his name. You are already getting a squeeze on crude oil. You are already getting it. And the headlines that have been coming out for more than 2 months now are on Saudi Arabia and Russia's production cuts and how they are going to continue cutting production heading into the end of the year. This is what we're looking at just from a year-to-date perspective, okay? Kept coming up to 83, kept going down to 68. We were holding right here around 73 early in the year until March when we broke down. We're holding that 68 very strongly. Now we've broken out above this 83. Well, this ain't shit. So we still got a long way upwards to go. And even though it is summer season is over, so driving season is done, you start raising the price of oil and putting a squeeze on it, and we get oil up here into this 93, 93.50, 97 area, inflation is going to rip your ass out. So how they decide that they're going to play around with this inflation report that comes out this week, that's for what it is. I will stay here for a little bit, only because I want to stay on this subject. Wrong one. $DXY. Here's the dollar going back to Christmas last year and how we've trolled, right? We've broken above this 104,636. We have not taken out the year's highs. The year's highs took place over here in the early portion of March. We've not broken out above that as of yet. Wider view, as you can see here, just like crude, it is on a could be possibly breakout move to a much larger upside above the year high, heading back over here to what we were looking back on the drops back in November, back here in December, end of December, and where we peaked out over here on September 27 of last year, which I will again stick with this and bring you on to the hottest topic in Forex, which is the dollar yen. And here we have the dollar yen at 1998 highs at 147.65. Not to the October 22 highs, which was a spike, very random spike, but getting very, very close to that 150 area. Zoom this out in a much wider view, and you can see where we are. Bigger view. Bring it out even wider than that. And now you see how depressed we are. However, we are approaching those levels where there are make or break decisions that need to be made by central banks. So that is one subject and one subject alone for what's taking place this week. Now, we have the CPI report there on Wednesday. On Thursday, this is what I missed. On Thursday, we have the ECB rate decision, along with retail sales and PPI for the month. But then you come over here onto Friday the 15th. And Friday the 15th, you have absolutely nothing whatsoever for economic data. Nothing, okay? Because next week is the FOMC meeting. However, Friday is quad witching OPEX. And on quad witching OPEX, I don't care who you are or what you do, you remember we are closing red on Friday. No matter what, we are closing red on Friday. So, that being those of you that get into the spreads on Thursday, as we start going into the close on Thursday, at the close on Thursday, last few minutes of the day, you will want to be putting on a trade for the overnight with the Friday expiration and looking at getting into a red close credit spread over there on the SPX. You could do the same thing on the QQQ. You could do the same thing on SPY. Bottom line, we are closing red on OPEX, quad witching OPEX Friday, period. So keep that in mind because you got that coming to you. So going back into our regular new routine where, what we've got here, we are spreads, great week, calls, puts over here 45 25 45 20. Now a lot of people didn't get this, only a few did. I threw this out on Labor Day because the markets were open and trading was open. Get into the 45 25 45 20s for Friday. It was $2 bid. 250 would be great. However, is what it is. So anyway, those closed out full. Friday, like I said on Friday, I'm like Al Pacino in The Godfather. I don't want to have to do this, but I got no choice. Got to go over there and sell the puts. 44.50, 44.45s, 115% from that early morning trade. So spreads, everything's looking copacetic. But I do want to bring you back into the reality of things. And the reality is here. We bottomed on August 25th, and you remember it was a perfect bottom. 23.6 retracement to the 2022 lows on SPX and SPY. 23.6 retracement and the fake print over on QQQ. Bang. Green close Friday. Bang, green close Friday, September 1. Bang, green close Friday, just 2 days ago. You are closing red on Friday, period, the end. But I want you to see here how we bottomed out on 43.56 over there August 25. And although we have had a run 43.56, 45.41, full moon, a little bit better, close to 200 points. We had our algo day there on Tuesday, August 29th. That was our algo day. And other than that, our range has been absolute and complete shit. 27, 25, 18 day after Labor Day. 24, 28, 24. Garbage for range. And the reason for that garbage for range is nothing more than compressing your VIX, which is the reason why everybody was able to go ahead and be confident about playing those put spreads on Friday, because Fridays the VIX gets crushed. This Friday, different story. However, I do want to bring your attention to the 44.30 bottom that we hit there on September 7th on Thursday. Broke the 50 retracement of the bounce that we have taken place for. So as we will start moving over to our charts now, it is a come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's be right. Let's be right. We have everything. All we need is that one little sharp point to pop the balloon. That's it. 5 days. Here's from Friday. Boom. I mean, you can't get a better bearish top than that. We peaked there on Friday right at the open, and we sold right off on Friday last week prior to the holiday. We had our gap down here on Tuesday. We had a bigger gap down here on Wednesday and filled it on Friday. Thursday we didn't fill it, we filled it on Friday. Came right up to that 44.71, just below the 100% above the COVID low close, and fell off right there around 44.7. We do have a gap right over here to be filled. However, bringing you back on a little bit of a wider view, we have this gap from over here at the very beginning of August we have untouched. And that was strictly because as we were expecting to bounce off of that 43.35, we knew that we would be hitting the top when we got up here. We didn't know it until we got to it. But when we got that algo day here on Tuesday, everything worked out very perfectly as we went into Friday. So we have now bounced 197, 200 points, whatever it is, and we have dropped half of that. So we are in the middle. We are very, very much in the middle. And what we have coming at us this week is, as we shared, we have CPI, we have the ECB rate decision, we have PPI, we have quad witching OPEX, and where's the other one? The index rollover, which again being September 11th. I do not expect, out of complete and total respect for what took place 22 years ago, for Monday to have any kind of volatility whatsoever. I do not expect it. I don't care. I used to actually not even trade on September 11th. I may not tomorrow. But that's what we've got going on there for that. Now, stop clicking the wrong buttons. So again, from a bigger, wider view to where we've come, move off this. We had a 272-point drop, 197-point bounce. Now we're in the middle here. We are in the middle. A break for me, a break below 44.34 would start reassuring me that I have the right forecast that I'm looking for. A break below 44.20 will again start assuring me I have the look that I'm looking for. We have a very small gap back here from a week ago, 44.05, 44.15, something like that. But anything that pressures down to this area is going to, without a shadow of a doubt, start putting pressure down on 43.55, which, as you see here, very, very significant, very important. Projected move would be continued to be still to that 42.60, 42.65 area, with the ability, possible breakdown down to that 41.55, 41.36. Don't be an idiot. Don't be stupid and start buying 42.60 puts or 41.55 or SPY 415 puts. Don't be a fucking moron and go do that. Sent you the email out there on Friday to again reiterate. I didn't have time to write a big lengthy email because we've emailed this out 4 times already. There's nothing wrong, nothing with my personal decision on getting on those September 22 positions. Spelled it wrong. Did I spell it wrong? No, I did. On the QQQ puts, because I will be moving. September 29th is when the full moon is. It's also the last day of the quarter. I'm saying October 6th in the email that I sent out there on Friday because you have that window, that plus or minus 3 sessions window with a full moon. And you also have, which I did not put in the email, and I apologize for not putting it in the email, the high probability of the government shutting down on October 1 because you don't have a deal in order to fund the government past October 1. So you've got quite a bit on the table there as you're going into the end of the month. So yes, October 6th, because why? Why? Okay, here's why. Projections are projections. We need evidence and we need proof. Bring you back to the yen. So I bring you here to the VIX. Here's your wide look at a VIX over a year, 2 years, whatever, 360 days. And you see your compression where you're at. Now, I've shared this. I've shared how you crush on Fridays. You crush on Fridays. You crush on Fridays. This is where we're at. We're down here on this big, fat, juicy 1339 with a little gap that's there below from a couple weeks ago. Look at this. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better opportunity to have yourself out in a further dated, using the forecast, using the projections, using the timeline with the full moons to have a position out there in case you get a big old hammer right in the side of the head, CPI on Wednesday. We gap down 50 points, 70 points like we did last year in September. Now you're chasing it. Now you're chasing to get in a position, which a lot of you did back in the July play when we were playing the August 25 puts that you missed. So here you are on the VIX. I apologize for talking with my hands and not talking with the chart while we're on here. Here's your VIX from going back here, right here, beginning of September 1, 1302. Showed you already where your 52-week, it's actually your 4-year lows down there below 13. Had our run right up to 1542, and then we got crushed all last week. And here we are sitting on this big 1339, which allows us to come over here to the big fat mama, the QQQ. Big bounce. Knew the bounce was coming. Got the bounce. Zoom this out. I think I've got to do custom because I can't get everything on a 30-day. So go here to July. Yeah, we'll do that. And this will give us all. Here's our big drop and our big bounce. Our bounce up made it perfectly. Right to our area that we were expecting. Here was our drop down. Fibonacci. Right 200 extension. Right to the 23.6. Right to that fake print. Absolutely phenomenal. So come in here on a zoomed in view. We had our bounce. Here was our drop. And we have not broken on the QQQ. We have not. We have gotten a decent move down, but we have not broken. On the QQQ, we've hit our 23.6. We've got our 38.2. We have not visited our 50 retracement as we have already done over there on the SPX and the SPY. Last week, red week. But you see here your ranges. 3. One day, Tuesday, traded over 4-point range. 370, 325, 2 -1% days. That was it. So far, 10-point drop. 11-point drop from that high over there on September 1. Not had a confirmation yet on the drop. On the QQQ, what we're looking for, you just got to stop pushing the scroll bar, man. On the QQQ, what I'm looking for is that break. Fuck, what are you doing, man? You go from a bigger time frame to a smaller one. I want to see a break and a close below 371. Prefer minus 370, but at least 371. And then bring it on 10 days. I want extreme pressure put on that 367. This is your algo day from 2 weeks ago, Tuesday. This is your algo day that immediately right at the opening bell, boom, spike run up. I want pressure to come on this 367, 368. And I want it this week. And I want it by Wednesday morning. By Wednesday morning, I want pressure on that 368, if not breaking that 368. And like I've shared with everybody from a bigger, much wider view, 347, 348, possible, plausible. Right down there. Nice little support back here from the end of May, beginning of June. Right on there. 347, 348. Great zone to come on down to, get into a nice buy the dip heading into Christmas. I wouldn't mind a nice drop down to 334 with a gap that is unfilled down here. Bring it on to my detailed one. Got a big fat gap from back over here. This is when NVIDIA reported their earnings and said, CoreWeave just gave us $2.3 billion in sales, which we borrowed from CoreWeave, where the NVIDIA Ponzi scheme is. This is the NVIDIA Ponzi scheme gap right here, 336, 331. I wouldn't mind it. I'm not counting on it, but I wouldn't mind it. And this is, again, going back to the SPY view with the view, possible forecast, need evidence, need proof. Don't be a moron and go out there buying 355 or 350 or 345 puts on the QQQ. If you can't afford to buy the 380, the 375s, or the 370s, then day trade. You're not a big boy yet. You're still trading with your Robinhood account. So that's the view, all right? We need evidence. I need to see evidence still, and I need to see that break on SPX 4434, 4420. Got a baby gap that's underneath that. I start to see that. I start to feel a lot more confident that heading into the end of the month, heading into the beginning of October, we are going to be putting pressure down here on this 4250 area, possibly placing some pressure on that 4155, 4190 area, possibly. So I leave you with that, and I will finish you off with this. I don't have anything to joke around about this weekend. Sorry, guys. Shared to you the Apple and the Huawei store. Huawei store, jam-packed. Apple store, ghost town. 1 billion people. Not 1 billion iPhone buyers, 1 billion people. Shared with you Joe Biden, the G20. And you can see at the end there, Janet Yellen's reactions. Oh, fuck, here we go again. But this is also going around. The Chinese armed forces are moving a large numbers of tanks to an area near Taiwan. It's right on down there in Fuzhou. It's the closest port to Taiwan. Now, videos like this were starting to surface in early December, late December, of Russia moving tanks and military equipment down towards Crimea, down towards the border of Ukraine. It was about a month before they actually went in that you were seeing this kind of footage. Exact same footage. And this week, Monday to Friday, the Ukraine, USA, Romania are going to be conducting joint military exercises, Seabreeze 23.3, in the Black Sea, the Delta Danube. Bulgaria, France, Great Britain, Turkey, all joining. And now this is extremely biased. This account, Finance Lot, he is a massive end-of-the-world doomsday bear call play. You know, everything's going to shit in a handbasket, this guy. But he does have a very good video that he puts together because, you know, they did say that the Nord Stream pipeline would not happen. And you're about to enter winter over there in Europe. So you put all the pieces together and you see what's on the table and you place your bet. And the bet for me is we're going to be heading lower. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the football. Colorado, Buffaloes with Deion Sanders. Man, football's back for me. So I will start watching soon. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Any questions at all, message me in the chat room. Message me directly. I'm here for you.